How did foreign investors trade when VNIndex dropped nearly 16 points in April? In April, foreign investors net sold nearly 1,550 billion dong in the whole market. However, if excluding the sudden put-through transaction of IDP shares of International Milk, foreign investors net discharged more than 2,900 billion dong. At the end of April, VNIndex decreased by 15.52 points, equivalent to a decrease of nearly 1.5%, stopping at 1,049.12 points. The average liquidity per session reached 11,507 billion dong, up 24.2% compared to the previous month, but still down 10% compared to the last 5 months. Liquidity witnessed a month-on-month increase for the first time in 2023 as investors' cash flow began to show signs of returning to the market in the context of cooling interest rates and a series of policies to remove difficulties for the corporate bond market and the real estate market issued recently. Statistics from VNIndex research and FinPro show that, in contrast to the 3.4% decrease in March, the health sector recorded the strongest increase in April with an increase of 6.8% since the beginning of the month thanks to the operating activities. Bidding for drugs is active again after Resolution 30 and Decree 07 were issued and more than 10,000 drug registration papers were renewed. In contrast, the water and gas sector dropped 7% in the month, recording the most disappointing investment performance in April, mainly because gas lost 8.6% since the beginning of the month, which is likely to record business results in the first quarter of 2023 was less positive due to the drop in oil prices. Observing foreign cash flow, foreign investors had a net selling month of more than 2,850 billion dong on HOSE. Detailed statistics by stock code, HPG was bought the most by foreign investors with a value of 518.7 billion dong in April. Standing in second and third place in the top 10 are shares of HD Bank and code of VPB of VP Bank with the size of 234.5 billion and 113.4 billion dong, respectively. In the large cap group, VRE shares of Vincom Retail were also net bought 97 billion dong. Next, foreign cash flow also sought many representatives such as PAN, TTF, IB, Plex, FRT, NLG with a value of less than 100 billion dong. On the opposite side, foreigners were the strongest net sellers of Sacombank's STB shares with a scale of 782 billion Vietnamese dongs. In the previous month, this code also topped the list of foreign investors withdrawing capital with a scale of nearly 800 billion dong. At Sacombank's annual general meeting of shareholders on the morning of April 25, General Director Nguyen Duc Thach Diem said that in the first quarter of 2023, the bank achieved a consolidated profit of 2,383 billion Vietnamese dongs, up 50% compared to the same period last year, and achieved 25% of the annual plan. Credit growth in the first quarter reached over 2%. Ms. Diem said that in order to be eligible for stock dividends, the bank must set aside all outstanding VAMC bonds, and the board of directors has assigned Sacombank's management board to perform this task. In the first quarter of 2023, the bank has set aside 2,213 billion Vietnamese dongs and is expected to deduct another 8,000 billion Vietnamese dongs by the end of this year, 100% of VAMC bond outstanding. The remaining representatives in the net selling list named many large and mid-cap codes such as VNM, 418.5 billion dong, SSI, 245 billion dong, FUEVFVND, 190.8 billion dong, PVD, 170 billion dong, Dong BMP, 157.3 billion dong, DGC, 144.9 billion dong, bid, 126.1 billion dong, KDH, 124.6 billion dong. Foreign investors' transactions last month on HNX. Similar transactions, foreign investors also net sold more than 19 billion dong on HNX in April. Meanwhile, foreign investors maintained a net purchase of CEO shares of CEO Group with a scale of 45.2 billion Vietnamese dongs. Foreign cash flow also actively sought IDC, 32.3 billion dong, TNG, 18.4 billion dong, PVI, 6.2 billion dong, PVS, 5.3 billion dong. On the other side, net withdrawals mainly focused on SHS shares with the size of 75.3 billion dong. The stocks that were withdrawn in turn were MBS, 34.3 billion Vietnamese dongs, PLC, 8.7 billion Vietnamese dongs, NVB, 8.7 billion Vietnamese dongs, HUT, 2.4 billion Vietnamese dongs. Foreign investors' transactions last month on UPCOM. Market. In the UPCOM market, foreign investors turned to a net buying of nearly 1,324 billion Vietnamese dongs, mainly due to the agreement to change the IDP code of international milk. Specifically, IDP shares were bought the most by foreign investors with a value of 1,361 billion dong. This is a transaction of the Daytona Investments Private Fund Limited with the purchase of 5.3 million IDP shares, equivalent to 8.99% of IDP's charter capital. Disbursement transactions followed by BSR, 52.6 billion dong, MPC, 19.1 billion dong, CST, 7.8 billion dong, MCH, 6.7 billion dong. Meanwhile, WSB shares of Saigon Beer, Minh Tay were the focus of net selling with nearly 41 billion dong. Besides, VTP and VEA saw a net withdrawal of 36.7 billion dong and 27.6 billion dong, respectively. Other stocks on UPCOM that were net sold below 15 billion dong, including LTG, Queens, CLX, MML, ACV, NTC,